So there's a lot of confusion happening out there with owner-operators and the hike of fuel prices. Owner-operators are panicking. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the old fuel prices versus the new fuel prices and what this is doing to owner-operators and small fleet owners. So if you are an owner-operator getting fuel surcharge, this video is going to explain to you a lot of what you should be making today versus what you were making a couple of months ago. I am in touch with about 2,500 drivers and I've received an influx of calls into my office asking me about the fuel surcharges, so I decided to make a video on it. There are a couple of problems with the phone calls that I get. So there's a common denominator between them. So there are owner operators that are panicking based on today's new fuel prices. And what I see happening is that they're looking at their last paycheck and they're looking at today's fuel prices. But the problem is that their last paycheck does not reflect today's fuel prices. So for example, let's say in your last paycheck, you got 15 or 18 or 20 cents fuel surcharge, and you're comparing that to today's fuel prices. But the last paycheck that you're looking at was from, usually it ranges, it's about a month ago, because most trucking companies have a 15-day hold. So I created a chart and I'm going to be going over this chart with you. The chart basically compares three different types of trucks. So let's look into this chart that I've created and I'm going to explain to you how this works. At the top, you have your miles per gallon. The first couple of columns are 5.5 miles per gallon and 6 miles per gallon. So these are more of your flat nose trucks. So the W900s, the Coronados, anything, the Peets, the 379 Peets with a flat nose. So those are the trucks that are getting 5.5, 6, and 6 miles per gallon. Now the 7.5 miles per gallon are usually your older, your 16, 17, 18s, maybe 15s, 14s, your Volvos, your Cascadias. And then you have your 8 to 9 miles per gallon, which are usually your aerodynamic trucks. They are your newer Volvos, newer Cascadias, and your newer T680 next gens. Okay, and on the left hand side we have the cost per gallon. So as you know, and I said it before, the cost for fuel was $4 per gallon just a couple of weeks ago. Today it has hit, the national average has hit $5 US per gallon. Okay, in a very short period of time the fuel has jumped significantly. Well, what does this mean for you as an owner operator, and how much more should you be getting paid for today? So let's take the middle range trucks, so the 7 to 7.5 miles per gallon. Well, when the fuel was $4 per gallon, it used to cost you 57 or 53 or 50 cents per gallon to run 1 mile. Well, with today's fuel prices being at $5 US per gallon, it's costing you 70, 67, and 63 cents. So approximately 63, depending on how fuel efficient your truck is. That's what it's costing you to run your truck. So we went up from about 57 cents per mile and now it's gone up to about 71 cents. So you're really looking at an extra 16, 17 cents is what it's costing you with a fuel efficient truck. Well, if your truck is not fuel efficient and you have a flat nose truck and you're basically doing 5.5 to 6 miles per gallon, this is mostly the guys that are in panic mode because the fuel surcharge does not cover the extra cost that it's costing them to run their truck. So if your truck is doing 5.5 miles per gallon or 6 miles per gallon, you know, you're in a really tough situation because it's costing you more money than what the company is paying you in fuel surcharges. Now, just an example of this is, you know, it used to cost you 73 cents if your truck was at 5.5 miles per gallon. It used to cost you 73 cents US to run a mile, and now with today's prices it's costing you 91 cents. So over 25-cent increase to run a mile. So that's the difference for you in a very short period of time. So we hit $4 US per gallon. Literally, it was 2 weeks ago, and today we're hitting $5 US per gallon as a national average. Now, there's a lot of highs and lows in the US. So there are some places in the US that are closer to 6, or the national average we'll say is $5 US per gallon. Now, this is where the fuel efficient trucks are really gonna be making a difference. When the fuel was $3 per gallon or $2.75, you really didn't see a huge difference between economical trucks versus non-economical trucks. But in today, once the gas reaches $5 US per gallon, and they're saying it might even hit $6, you'll see a huge difference between aerodynamic trucks versus non-aerodynamic trucks. So I'm gonna give you an example right now in this video through my analytics about a truck that's running 11,000 1,000 miles per month doing 8.5 miles per gallon versus a truck that's doing 5.5 or 6 miles per gallon, and what it's costing them for fuel. So guys, very, very important. I've posted this chart up here. Only you know your truck, right? So your truck is anywhere between 5.5 to 9 miles per gallon. So if you look at this chart, and let's say your truck is at 6.5 miles per gallon, well, when it was $4, you can see that it used to cost you 62 cents per mile to run, and now at $5, it's costing you 77 cents per mile. I know that our fleet units, they run 8 to 8.5 miles per gallon. So it would cost us here about 53 to 56 cents to run a mile with our trucks. All right, guys, so here I have two trucks. One truck drove 11,855 miles, and here's a second truck, which is a company truck, that drove 11,777 miles, okay? So one truck is producing 7.8 miles per gallon, and the other one is producing 5.9 miles per gallon. We won't get into the type of trucks that they are, but here you have, one driver spending $10,195 on fuel, and in the same month, the same 30-day period, you have another driver that's a lot more economical. The truck is a lot more economical, spending $7,752 on fuel. Now, this is for the month of February, so the difference between the two trucks were $2,443. That's in 1 month, and if you want to compare that to a year, that's $29,300 per year. Now, when I did this, the price per gallon was about $4.60. Okay, now that the price has gone up to $5 per gallon, what does this mean? Well, this means that the aerodynamic trucks and the more fuel efficient trucks versus the non-fuel efficient trucks, they're going to have a much wider gap. So instead of $2,500, that is going to grow into $3,000, and then it'll grow into $3,500. So the fuel efficient trucks versus the non-fuel efficient trucks. Idling per night is going to cost you a lot more now that the fuel is at $5 per gallon. Now, I want to take a couple of minutes to talk about my Canadian friends. I did the exact same chart for my Canadian friends because I feel like a lot of the calls that I get are also from Canadian owner operators, and they don't understand the difference, or they do understand, they just need clarification on the fuel surcharge. So what does it cost? So here in Canada, for my American friends, it costs us today $2.10 per gallon is today's fuel prices for diesel, which is equivalent to $7.94 Canadian per gallon. Well, what is it costing us to run a mile? So here's the chart, okay? I've done the exact same chart over here, so you can see your truck if you are driving at 5.5 miles per gallon versus a truck that's driving at 9 miles per gallon. So you can see here that it would cost anywhere between $1.44 to 88 cents would be the difference between an aerodynamic truck and a non-aerodynamic truck. So you're more than welcome to pause this video and look at this chart. You need to see, where does your truck fall into this category? So if your truck is at 7 miles per gallon or 7.5 miles per gallon, it used to cost you 86 cents to run a mile, and now it's costing you $1.06 to run a mile. So that's how you know how much fuel surcharge extra you need between this month and a couple of months ago. So again, you need to check how much you used to get paid, what the fuel prices is right now versus how much you need to get paid today to come out at the same bottom line as you used to come out a couple of months ago. So I hope this information helped. I hope it clarified things. Give your company the time that it needs in order to, don't look at last month's paychecks and compare it to this month's fuel. You need to know this month's fuel surcharge at $5 US per gallon or $2.10 a liter, this month's fuel surcharge, to be able to analyze if you're getting paid the same or if you're not getting paid the same. So I really hope these charts helped you. It took me a long time to put these videos together. The least you could do is give it a thumbs up or put a comment down below on how your company is handling the fuel surcharge problem right now. So we can't keep up. I mean, the fuel is hiking at an extremely fast pace. For some reason, I have a feeling by the time I publish this video, the fuel is going to be already at $2.30 or $2.40 per liter and about $5.50 or $5.75 per gallon. But we'll try to get it out there as soon as possible. And don't forget to like and share the content.